For anybody who showed up Monday for the Steve Rogers Captain America All or Nothing, you probably know that, well, I mean, if you made it to the end, you know that there aren't any more current critiques. Things have been changed up and pushed back to 1 week later. And I had every intention of watching Marvel's new Captain America, but I live in a place where snow and ice and inclement weather do what they do, and they don't care what my plans are. But as the old saying goes, the mail comes, snow, rain, sleet, or hail. And so this was going to be Captain America Brave New World 1 week later. However, it isn't anymore. But I will still review the movie when it releases, so 1 week after its physical or possibly Disney Plus release, depending on which one comes first. But this, however, will now be the most recent, because I didn't know it was coming, unboxing, because like I said, the mail doesn't stop. Thank you for being here at Mr. Super Oz. This video is going out, and this channel only exists because I, Oz, founded Gamble Comics, which first release was Everlasting Survivors, a 68-page graphic novel called All Day Long. Available now. Follow the link in the description that will take you to gamblecomics.com. While there, you can get hats, shirts, posters, much more, but most importantly, the story itself. Coming soon from Gamble Comics, BC Brute. The funny thing about unboxings is that I almost never know when one is going to come out on the channel, because it's not like I intentionally or go out of my way to say, oh, I'm going to buy this for the channel. It was actually a package I got, I'm going to say a couple weeks ago, where I thought about doing an unboxing, but then when it arrived, it was opened before I could get home. And so when the contents get revealed on the channel, it'll be during the Butterfly Effect Wrestling video and not a unboxing that leads to that reveal, which is cool because the custom prop was made for or because of that show anyway. So totally fine. It was just something I had considered as a possibility. And the thing about this unboxing is it actually fits seamlessly with the last long video I did in the same form, which turned out it was longer than I had ever anticipated it being, because before I could finish editing it, more boxes arrived, which was a lot of fun, and I liked that that was able to be a thing just for spontaneity and originality. And so for anybody who watched that one, you would have seen how that I kept or made my collection for display purposes. And while most of them stayed in the same place as from that last video, I did add Mr. Mayhem Michael Wardlow from the Target exclusive AEW line to the collection. And while he doesn't fit with the overall theme of the nostalgic Bendems that I have been hanging up, he does fit with the local area theme. So that's what he bookmarks or comes to the close of, is the people from my local area. And so this unboxing, this reveal, this purchase is the final piece in the Bindums from my local area collection. And while I would have loved for Trevor Mann to get a Major Wrestling Figure podcast bendies, because he's from Paducah, Kentucky, and I would have married well with Heath from West Virginia and Johnny from Ohio, I ended up getting a classic WWF Attitude Bindums of Nashville, Tennessee's Double J Jeff Jarrett, JEFFJARRETT. And so while Tennessee isn't exceedingly close, it's definitely closer than, let's say, where Vader's from, the Colorado Rockies, or, you know, Atlanta for the Rhodeses, or even Texas for Dusty Rhodes. And so Jeff, he loosely fits that close proximity. I mean, I can be in Tennessee in a few hours. And so, yeah, this is a very classic design. And by that I mean unique, because this era of Jeff was from a very odd time period where he was in a National Wrestling Alliance invasion of the World Wrestling Federation. Very weird times when it comes to choices being made. And it was basically WWF trying to make the NWO, but with the NWA odd stuff. But the attire is very clean and cool. Love the trading card. All of the cards just pop. The art is top quality. Whomever was the commissioned artist did a great job on all of the pieces. And it's funny, so Jeff actually had gotten multiple versions of his eras in the Major Wrestling Figure podcast design, but I was able to find this mint on card, very good condition, 1998 WWF figure on eBay. And so, because the collection is based around Young Oz having these for their cost-efficient price tag, I went ahead and got the original figure and not the modernized version of like his WCW look or his more classic guitar string top roadie with my baby tonight look, because those are the ones that the Major Wrestling Figure podcast put out. Like I said, but this is just such a an odd time period for Jeff Jarrett, because I feel like most people these days probably wouldn't even remember that this occurred, and with that, it makes it much more fun. And yeah, I'm just happy to have the collection of locals complete, because now it's set up to where it's Wardlow from Cleveland, Colt Cabana from Chicago, Illinois, Nick Nemeth from Ohio, Jeff Jarrett from Tennessee, Johnny Gargano from Ohio, Heath Slater from West Virginia, and Al Snow from Lima, Ohio. And then we lead into the No Longer With Us Deceased collection, headed off by Brian Pillman, because, you know, he's that bridge from local to No Longer With Us. And yeah, it's like I said, it was this was intended to be something else. It was intended to be a just fresh out of the movie theater conversation about Captain America, but that's what happens when you live in Appalachia and the weather does what it does. So hopefully when the movie is watchable without having to deal with bad weather, hard times, craziness, it will be better than what I'm seeing. Because it's funny, I've seen such a contrast between people who are like, oh, it's the worst thing since worst stuff, and other people be like, oh, I totally understand the story, and so I'm curious to see where I fall in that in the perspectives. The funny thing is I'm always on the fence about whether or not I'm going to keep getting, whether it be Bend-Ems or non-Bend-Ems, because Owen is perfect for a display for Yokozuna or the British Bulldog, but I have a loose Davy Boy hanging out with Harry Smith, so I may just let Owen hang out with Draws and LOD because that's fine too. And the other thing is, I'd have to repurpose or reposition my Sting of the Hill fan art if I did get somebody to hang out with Wardlow. So there's a chance that this Jeff Jarrett might be the end of the Bend-Ems unboxing videos. But then again, like I said, they always are kind of a surprise-ish. And so there might be another surprise unboxing at some point. And because the unboxings began with the Street Sharks, with the Biker Mice from Mars and then went to the Street Sharks, it's really hard to say what could come out, be released, or change my perspective and be added to the collection. Because, they always, nostalgia is always a thing, and with that, they'll always be putting out something that's going to spike my interest and say, hey, you know how much you had affection for, whatever it might be, Wildcats, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Big Hero 6, and the list goes on. So, like I said, it's probably not the end of unboxings, but it's definitely, I don't really have anything in mind for the near future. So, thanks for tuning in. Anybody who was looking forward to my thoughts on Captain America Brave New World, it will happen, just not today. And so come back next week and enjoy.